Experience of being. Feeling your skin soften. And notice the places where your legs touch the ground beneath you. Notice the feeling of the breath in the body as it naturally rises and falls. Let your awareness begin to settle in on your breath. Good. Now as you soften the jaw, let your inner thighs soften. Let your awareness now drop into the bowl of your pelvis. Feeling the front of the pubic bone, or the pubic bone is the front of the bowl. Sacrum is the back of the bowl. And as you soften your belly here, as you inhale, let the breath drop down into the bowl and let the belly expand on the inhale. And as you exhale, begin to draw your navel back and in towards your spine. Breathing in, sustaining awareness here in the belly. Feeling the belly expand. And then exhale, let the navel draw back and in towards the spine. Begin to squeeze the stale air out. Good. Do a few more of these, keeping the awareness sustained here in the low belly. Thoughts will arise. Sensations arise. Let that happen as you stay connected to the belly. Good. And with your awareness dwelling in the belly, opening up the sense door of sound, of hearing, to listen to these words, allowing in anything here that's something that you're needing to receive. An important element of coming home to ourselves is relearning the joy of simply being. Underneath all of our busyness, what we truly long for is to find fulfillment in the enoughness of this moment. Even though it is one of the most profound things a human being can do, most of us have forgotten how. Our minds are usually planning what is going to happen, rehashing what did happen, and struggling with everything in between. We love to acquire and do, fix and achieve, attain and figure out. There is nothing wrong with these activities except that when they become our primary mode of existence, they cut us off from the astounding healing of simply being. When we relearn how to simply be, we begin to discover moments in which our minds, our bodies, and our hearts are all in the same place at the same time. These moments hold the power to heal us to our core. The more we cultivate them, the more connected we become. The more connected we become, the more we live from the wellspring within that holds all the clarity, peace, wisdom, and joy that we long for. And now letting the awareness extend upward to include the heart center. Feeling the solar plexus, the center of the chest and throat. Home of the emotional body. We're so caught most of the time in our doing that we don't have a moment to even check in with how the heart is and its being. Notice any emotions that are present with you as we begin class. Is there joy? Is there restlessness? Is there gratitude? Is there hope? Is there anxiety? Is there ease or is there worry? Is there something else happening? Something else that I haven't mentioned that you notice to be true? Allowing that to be the gateway in to a connection to that deeper wellspring within. And then last, adding in the head center as we soften the jaw. Soften the inside of your mouth and space between your eyebrows. Let the crown of your head be soft. Soften your brain inside your skull and soften any inner judgment or criticism that you might notice. What would it feel like to invoke a kind and friendly inner tone? How might you be viewed through the eyes of unconditional love? Allow yourself to be beheld in that way. As you drop that harsh and pointed inner voice and begin to pivot your awareness towards something more true, more kind, more spacious, more loving. And connecting the belly center, the heart center, and the head center with the breath. Good. We'll let the awareness drop down to the tailbone, feeling the earth beneath that. And then drawing the breath up from tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhale, let the breath return back to the earth. Deep breath in, drawing the breath up. Exhale, let it wash back down. Last time like that, good. Deep breath in and out. And we'll bring our palms together in front of our heart. Good, and we'll just set this collective intention tonight, allowing ourselves to make space for being. Trusting this breathing and this feeling more than thinking. This simple practice will take you as far as you want to go. And we can seal our intention with a bow. Let's come off. If you're on a blanket, we'll just come off of it. And draw the soles of your feet together, make a wide diamond shape with your legs. And then we can use our props. We can fold a blanket or two and put it in the space between your legs. And then maybe put a block there too. Now you might not need all of these props. You might decide to take them away. But it's a good place to begin. So taking a deep breath in, just begin to gently lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, begin to fold forward. And then the block can be nice actually just to have to rest between the eyes. So allowing the third eye to kind of sink into the block. And the height of the block will depend on how far down is appropriate for you to go tonight. So you should feel right now, you should feel some stretch, but it should be like very manageable. Yeah, because we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. If it feels too intense, just like back up. So much of our pushing, so much of our doing is driven by fear. The fear that we're not enough and we must like do in order to be worthy. So here we're taking a step back and taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let a ha happen through the mouth like Good. Let yourself drop in. Begin to draw the navel back and in towards the spine on the exhale. Soft jaw, soft eyes. Inhale, belly expands as we begin to give our body a little deeper breath. Side body begins to expand, shoulders soften. Exhale, sinking towards this being by relaxing all of your muscles. No effort required. Breathing in. Just the intention here to be present. And also to breathe a little deeper breath than normal. And how do we establish this ground of presence? When our habit is to be lost in doing, we actually pull our awareness out of the busyness, the chaos of the thinking mind that's forever lost in the future or the past, or commenting often quite harshly on your performance here in the present moment. When we move our awareness out of that thinking into the breath and into the feeling of the body, both the breath and the body are always here. So as we draw our awareness to them, we can trust that we're dropping into presence. It's not a doing. It's a simple shift of awareness towards breathing and feeling. Letting the thoughts rise. And without the attention that you normally place on them, they'll pass away. Let the thoughts come. Breathing through them. As you soften inner thighs, soften hips. Let the knees be heavy. Good. Scan your body and re-relax anything that's tightened up. A simple antidote to sort of the chronic tension that we feel from what it really is a lot of repression. It's a simple practice that Matt Kahn speaks of, which I really love. It's whatever arises, love that. When your worry thoughts come up from the day, love that. Return back to the breath. When the sensations in your body rise up and you become aware of the stretch and the pull in the body, love that. When you exhale and feel the body sink a little bit more into the shape, love that. Even when the sensations within the body become more intense, which will happen as we hold the pose for a while, love that. If you can't love where you are, love that. Open up the container of self-acceptance and kindness so big that there's no part of your experience that it cannot hold. Last little bit here, you might scan your body and re-relax anything that's tightened up. How is your jaw? How are your eyes? We, on default, sort of carry tension in the face without knowing it. That's why it's default, it's unconscious. But as you soften your face, you invite the whole body to soften. Even softening with what isn't softening. Can you even let loose from your own spiritual perfectionism? From the idea that your mind shouldn't be busy, your body shouldn't be tight. We carry around so many shoulds. We don't make space for what is. Last 3 breaths here. Deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale, try letting a ha happen, like ha. Good. Yeah. And then inhale, slowly lift yourself up. Good. Move your props to the side. Go slow. One of the ways we come home to being is just by slowing down. Even though we want to not go so slow, we sort of fight that. Not fight it, but we go slow anyway. Draw the knees together. Extend both legs straight in front of you. We'll rest back on the hands. Just take a moment to feel that simple pose. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. A little different this time. Deep breath in, sip it in, and hold at the top of your inhale. Sip in a little bit more and hold that. Exhale, release. Last one like that. Deep breath in, sip it in, and hold. Sip in a little more, hold that, and release. And then just noticing the subtle energy body, the tingling or the buzzing, the movement of energy that happens when we come out of those long-held poses. Is there anything feeling good? And letting yourself tune into that. Drink it in. And now we'll move to the next pose. So have your blocks handy for this one. And we'll come to tabletop. Putting the hands on the blocks, and we'll bring the right foot forward, left leg back, coming into a low lunge. We won't be here for as long. We'll be here for like half the time. If the knee is bothered, put a blanket under the back knee. If it's too much, bring the blocks up higher. Right, you can always lower them down. Right, already, it's like intense because your psoas is getting stretched. Psoas is this big muscle that runs through the hip and into the top of the thigh, the right one now. That's what you're feeling. We hold a lot of stress in this area and this muscle, so take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Let yourself sort of cook here. Good. As the hips get heavy, notice your inner response to the pose. Like you love it, you hate it, or you don't care either way. This one, typically, we have a response to it. So just letting yourself love it or hate it, but not reacting. Instead, breathing. Riding the sensations beneath the thoughts. Draw your attention real close to the breath, and then feel how like the back foot and the front foot, pretty neutral in sensation. How is it to feel into the feet and the neutralness there as you feel into the intensity of the stretch, so that you're balancing out the challenge? Even letting in the music too. Yeah, let's take a deep breath in. Let that ha happen. As we surrender here for another minute. Irritation may arise. Frustration may arise. Something else may arise emotionally. Just like notice that, breathe with it. Last 5 breaths. Don't get ahead. Don't even get one breath ahead. Just stay with this one. Good. One more breath here. Deep breath in. Side out. Good. Bring the blocks down. Shift the foot over to the left. Drop the knee. Come into sleeping swan or pigeon pose. Ooh, good. Now, like, a blanket under the right hip might be good. You might not need that. We'll be here for about just as long. Yeah. Sometimes we just need to laugh or we'll cry. Well, we can do both. It's okay. Exhale, lower down. Wherever that edge is for you. I often like to stay on elbows. And then I'll bring my head into my hands. My forehead gets agitated from all my thinking. So it can be nice just to support, the forehead. If you're coming all the way down, let your forehead rest on your forearms. Yeah, good. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, side out. Softening the hips. might draw your breath up from the tailbone all the way up to the crown. As you exhale, soften. Not waiting for some better moment, but letting yourself really sink into this one. Loving whatever arises. We often place conditions on that, you know? We think, well, you know, I'll love myself when I have a better yoga practice. I'll love myself when I meditate more. I'll love myself when I get over my emotional triggers. In other words, we're like, I'll love myself when I'm perfect. As Donna Fald says so beautifully, perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. She says, please, oh please, do not continue to believe in your disbelief. That somehow this experience you're having right now, we often believe that it's not the right one, that somehow our insides don't match our outsides, and in that gap, our suffering lies. For these last few breaths, just sense that you can close the gap, letting loose our ideas of a future that's perfect. And instead realizing that the moment to live, the moment to experience, the only one we'll ever know is right here. Last 3 breaths. Ooh. Oh man, deep breath in through the nose. Let a ha happen. Ah, that's good, yeah. You'll just shift over to the right. So you can draw the left leg out, like over towards you and through. And we'll bring both legs straight in front. Good. Resting back on the hands again. Now let yourself enjoy coming out, you know. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And again, deep breath in, sip it in, sip it in. Exhale, release. One more like that. Deep breath in, sip it in, and hold at the top. Sip in a little more and hold that. And release. Good. Notice what's feeling soothing to you in this moment. Is it the earth beneath you? Is it the music? Is it the sound of my voice? Is it the feeling of your breath? Notice what arises for you as being that soothing element. And trust it. The voice of doubt will say, oh, no, 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 that's not what she's talking about. Or there's some sense that what's available here in this moment isn't quite good enough. We're waiting for something better. So stop waiting and take in the gifts that are arising right here, right now. Good. And now we'll come back to tabletop pose. Bringing the blocks in again. Right leg forward, left leg back. Ah.
Same side?
It should be a different side. Should be a different side. Yeah. There you go. Good question. I have had a teacher though do that, like repeat the lunge again. Yeah, like go from high lunge or low lunge to sleeping swan, back up to lunge. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Deep breath in, sigh it out. Good. Let the music sort of like sink into your bones. Sense the music supporting your deep dive. Sink heavier in the hips, and as you do that, notice the jaw and the subtle way it contracts and restricts. Yeah, just relax it, open it up. Good. Whatever you're feeling is just right, even if it's intense, even if you hate it. Good, deeper breath. Breathe through it, breathe with it. Soothe it with your breath. Yeah, we're almost done. Last 3 breaths here. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale, let a ha happen. Wiggling the foot over to the right, maybe. Ooh, coming to pigeon. Sleeping swan. In the yin style is what it's called. Bringing that blanket under the hip. And then, so yeah, tomorrow, really interesting to notice how your sense of being grounded is. I'd be really surprised if it wasn't like much more noticeable. So just like check that out. Deep breath in, exhale, lower down. Take a breath in. Let out some sound. Just let yourself sink. Good. Staying with the sensations of warmth or pulling or pressure. Like noticing the difference between that and what you think about it. Unhooking from the thought, staying closer to the felt sense. And to whatever's challenged here, can you bring in some kindness? Can you be like, oh, this is challenging. Oh, kindness. Like let there be a tone of kindness. Kindness invites, it doesn't push. Anything that's tightened up. And last little bit here, about 5 more breaths. Attention wanders away into a thought. What's for dinner? Maybe a thought about the day, or maybe there's just a thought about what's happening now. The moment you notice that, just bringing it back to the breath. Last deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Good. And gently lifting up. Take your time. Leaning over so we can draw the back leg forward. Good. Both legs extend straight again. Holy moly. So bless ya. Just take a moment to feel like the energetic impact after we come out of the pose. It's good to digest your experience. As we digest the experience, we actually digest the healing and we process it so that it's complete when we come into the next pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Little different this time. Deep breath in. Exhale, tilt the chin back. Chin comes back to neutral. Deep breath in. Sip it in. Sip it in. And exhale, release. 2-part exhale. 2 times back with the chin, like ha, ha. Chin comes back to neutral. We'll try that one more time. Deep breath in. 2-part exhale, 2 times back with the chin. Ha, ha. Good. Now feel the inseams of the legs. Notice if there's vibrance there. Like, what is that? Isn't that miraculous? Like, you can't see that, but you can feel it. It's real. It's your energy moving through you. Feeling the torso, maybe the arms. Notice the hands and the feet, and any buzzing or tingling there. Grounding that down towards the earth. We'll take our blanket, one of them, and just sit it up. So we'll sit up on top of that. Bring your blankets up as well, and let those rest on your legs. And then a block is nice too. As we fold forward, so we're gonna prepare for a forward fold. Now in this version, like if I come here, I'm quite supported, right? Like this is super doable. If I want more, I just drop the block. Woo! That would be about it for me tonight. We want to go to that place where we're feeling the edge, but we're not like leaning too far past the first edge, because you'll drop into your second and third as we breathe. There you go. Good, yeah. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Letting yourself settle and sink. Rilke says, perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act just once with beauty and courage. Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love. So you might invite in here any dragons. You know, what are those areas in your experience of your life right now that could use some loving attention? You might just welcome them back into your heart here as you breathe. And as you exhale, just letting your body get heavier as the vertebrae separate, as the fascia that connects all of our tissues, the muscles, the bone, as we feel that depth of stretch from the crown of the head all the way to the backs of the, to the heels. Being available here in the back of the body as you inhale, fill the low back so that the breath rises up to the mid-back, maybe even up to the shoulders, shoulder blades. Exhale, letting it go, drawing the navel back and in towards the spine. Notice where your attention is called, like where in your body is awareness pulling you. And rather than pull away, can you lean in? can you move towards? And just at that point, when you want it to be over, can you hang out a little longer? Can you move through that gate? See what's on the other side. Last 5 breaths here. If the awareness has wandered, no worries, just bring it back. The gentleness with which you bring your own awareness back is an invitation to meet any aspect of your experience, any part of your life where you feel like, oh, maybe it's not the way it should be. You know, when you catch yourself sort of lost in that space of something's missing, you know. So often we feel like that, like something's missing. That our experience isn't quite right, that maybe we should be present, you know, in our practice 100% of the time. So whenever my attention wanders and I notice that, I get really harsh with myself and I yank it back. As we shift our own inner tone, as we return our attention back to our practice, we're setting ourselves up to do that in other areas of our life as well. Whenever we feel like we've wandered off, we've gotten lost, we don't know our way, we're not where we're supposed to be, rather than meeting that with criticism, with harshness, meeting that with kindness, giving yourself permission to begin again. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, side out. Ah. Good, and then slowly lifting yourself up again. Move those props to the side. Lean back on the hands. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And again, deep breath in, sip it in, sip it in. Exhale, sigh it out, tilt the chin back. Good, chin comes back to neutral, breathing in. 2-part exhale, 2 times back with your chin, like ha, ha. Woo. Good, feel that. And then taking a moment to receive whatever's feeling good. Cultivating a sense of self-value, self-love by practicing it, by letting in the good, not because you deserve it, not because you think you deserve it, because your worth and your value, you deserve it simply because you're breathing. And allowing that to fill your heart as we move into this last pose in the sequence. We'll do a supported back bend. So you might take your blankets, stack them up like that, like we fold them in half, And then stack 2 together, one on top of each other, one on top of the other, I should say. And then we'll bring a block at the foot, or the head of the blankets, not the foot. And then your third blanket you can roll up and place under your knees. And as you lean back, there you go, Sabrina. Oh. Now this should feel really good. It should feel really good. It's like your dessert. Yeah. For a yin practice, you know, we've done some juicy poses together. So this should feel just like, meaning we've pushed edges quite a lot in our practice tonight. So just allowing the arms to open. Good. So as we allow the heart to open just so slightly, like you don't have to do anything, just feel the shoulders get a little heavier. Feel the way the breath wants to breathe through you. And then listening to these words. Now this is a reading from Matt Licata that I don't often share with like, you know, if we had a larger class, but because I know 2 of you pretty well, and I've been introduced to one of you, I get the sense that you're, you know, I know that you have some practice experience under your belt. So this might really land in a place that makes a lot of sense for you. So just take in, receive whatever you're needing to receive right now. And there is such a deeply rooted belief that we must do something with intense surges of feeling and emotion as they wash through. Understand them, determine their cause, link them to some life circumstance or person, change them, transform them, eliminate them, or even, quote unquote, heal them. This reaction was weaved into our sensitive little nervous systems as young children when we did not have the capacity to metabolize the intensity in an environment of loving presence. And out of this organization, we created our unique strategies of fight, flight, freeze, as a way to get out of very intense states of vulnerability and protect ourselves from the fiery aliveness of the emotional world. But what if just for one moment you did absolutely nothing in relation to the arising of emotional intensity? If you neither repressed nor denied it, nor urgently scrambled to seek relief from it? If you stayed close and made a commitment to non-abandonment and sanctuary for these wisdom guests as they arrive? Must you actually find relief from the orphaned visitors of your body, your heart, and your psyche? What would happen? What if the most wise, loving, attuned response was to take no action, to not scramble to mend your broken heart, to not urgently spin to, quote unquote, transform the sadness into happiness, and to not frenetically seek to quote unquote heal your fear. To not give in to the ancient demand that you fall into the extremes of denial or seeking relief, abandoning the uninvited ones through the fueling of a story about what has happened, who is to blame, why they are there, when they will go away, and what their present actually means about you as a person. These feelings and emotions are pure energy flow and information. They are not enemies or obstacles on your path, but are the very path itself. They have not come to harm you, but only to be allowed back into the majestic vastness that you are. This doing nothing is not a cold, passive resignation, but is an alive, sacred activity infused with presence and a wild sort of compassion. To do so is a radical act of kindness and love, and a holy gift you give to yourself that you can offer to others. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. You're welcome to stay here for Shavasana if you like, or if you're ready to come out, you can roll onto your side. Let yourself come flat onto your back. And then let yourself be comfortable. You can use a blanket if you like. If it's not too warm, why not? Let your breath resume its natural rhythm. Let your skin soften. Let the earth be felt beneath you. As you allow the weight of your body to kind of settle down towards the ground, notice the way the earth rises up to support and uphold you just as you are. Allowing yourself to rest here as if nothing were missing. Sensing how it would feel. How it would feel if you really trusted that nothing were missing from your life. That even the very imperfections that you often judge, the things in your life that you think should be different, what if they were actually the path itself? To regard your own life in this way is a radical act of self-love. We'll end with one of my favorite poems on the topic. And the time will come when, with elation, you will meet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the one who has loved you all of your life, whom you have ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. Wiggling fingers and toes. Inhaling, reaching the arms up overhead when you're ready. And exhale, sighing it out. Good, yeah. And rolling onto your side. And then just making your way back up to seated. Noticing the space of awareness. Allow yourself to rest back into the space of being aware of being aware. Bring a hand to your heart, acknowledging yourself for your practice, sensing something you'd like to take with you into your evening, into your Friday, into your weekend. As we transition out of sacred space into everyday life, we'll invoke the blessings of metta for ourselves and for all beings everywhere. May we all be at ease and at peace. May we all feel safe and free from inner and outer harm. May we trust in our value and our worthiness. May we be free of mental anxiety and worry. May we be well in our bodies. May we be filled with a well-being that isn't bound by circumstances or conditions. Bringing palms together in front of the heart. Thank you for sharing your practice with me tonight. It's been an honor to serve you. Namaste.